Hi. The name of this Blender video tutorial is cutting a hole in a flat surface. One common modeling problem is cutting a hole in a flat surface. To demonstrate how to do this, I've placed in my Blender scene a simple plane object. I'll go to Front View, and then tab into Edit Mode, and go to Wireframe Mode. With all the vertices selected, I'll press the Subdivide button on the left tool panel 3 times. This creates a number of faces from which I can form our cutout hole. I'll deselect the vertices, but before I create a circle, I want to make sure that my 3D cursor is located at the object origin of the plane object so that when the circle is created, it is in the same location X, Y, and Z. To do this, I'll tab out of Edit Mode and press Shift-S or Snap and select Cursor to Selected. This will place my 3D cursor at the object origin of the plane object. I'll then tab back into Edit Mode, and I'll add a circle object. Because I added the circle object while in Edit Mode on the plane object, the circle object automatically becomes part of the plane object's mesh. I'll rotate the circle vertices 90 degrees around the X-axis. To do this, I'll press the R key, followed by the X key, followed by 90, and then Enter. I'll then grab the circle vertices and move them to where I want the circle to be cut out. I'll then deselect the vertices, press Ctrl-Tab, and go to Face Select Mode. I'll select all of the plane faces around the circle. Then press the X key and delete the faces. I'll then go back to Vertex Select Mode. I now have to create new faces between the circle vertices and the plane vertices. I'll select 3 vertices at the bottom and press the F key to create a triangular face. I'll do the same thing for the top. And then the right side, and then the left side. I now have a good starting point for creating faces. I'll then box select the bottom right quadrant of vertices, then press Alt-F. This will fill the bottom right quadrant with faces. I'll do the same with the upper right quadrant. And the upper left quadrant. And the lower left quadrant. The circle is now fully faced into the plane object. I'll tab out of Edit Mode and go to Solid Shading View. I'll tab back into Edit Mode, select all of the vertices, and extrude them a bit along the Y-axis. Then tab out of Edit Mode. I have a variation of this on layer number 2. Here's another plane object. I'll go to Wireframe, and I'll make sure that my 3D cursor is at the plane object's origin point. Shift-S, Cursor to Selected. And then I'll add a new curved circle object. And I'll rotate it 90 degrees around the X-axis. Now these are currently 2 separate objects. I'll tab into Edit Mode in the curved circle, select all of the control points, and subdivide them once. I'll then press the V key and make them free handles. And I'll then alter the shape of this circle. I'll then tab out of Edit Mode, and with the circle selected, I'll press Alt-C and convert the circle object into a mesh object. I will then add the plane object to the selection and then press Ctrl J and join the two objects into one object. I'll tab into Edit Mode, and I'll box select the circle vertices and move them to where I want the cutout. I'll then select 4 plane corner vertices and subdivide them 3 times. I'll then switch to Face Select mode and select the faces of the plane that overlap the curved circle. And then delete them. I will then, as I did earlier, establish 4 triangular face connections between the curve and the plane's vertices. And again, as I did before, I'll select the vertices for each quadrant and press Alt-F to fill the quadrant with faces. The result will be an irregular hole cut out of a flat plane.